war, you say?
It's a very clear day, actually, as everyone kind of wakes up and assembles. You've heard rumors, whispers of troops starting to gather around the capital of Freyfrost.
Yes.
It definitely sounds like movement going on, and that someone has caught the bait.
All right.
Which means any day now, you're going to have to be ready to spring out and intercept.
And how ready are we when we look at our troops? Are they shaking in their boots? Are they like eager to battle? Like, what's the status here?
Well, I mean, it could be better to be sure. A lot of your troops are still fairly green, not having seen battle before.
Yeah.
And even the ones that are slightly better trained they're still pretty poorly trained.
Right.
On the bright side, morale seems decent among your troops. Everyone seems to be somewhat positive at least. Which makes a change. The Scold Warriors seem particularly interested in spilling blood.
That's good.
So the Scold Warriors is a fairly small minority, but hey, very motivated berserkers. Take that as you will.
Good shock troops.
In total, you're about 150 troops strong at the moment.
Okay.
Not including, of course, yourselves and your counselors.
Right.
Who themselves can fight, though to what degree depends per counselor.
Yeah. No, we're probably gonna bring them with us here. Have we divvied up our counselors and their buffs? Has everyone?
Not yet. You know that war is going ahead. Your counselors, as they stand, currently all stand idle. Braun, by default, if you don't assign him, will automatically lead his own troops.
Yeah, that seems fine. He should probably be with his own troops.
The rest of the counselors, though, are free to be assigned, or they can be assigned to your party, or they can be assigned to help lead some of your troops. Though, practically speaking, only 2 of your counselors actually have any experience. Pretty much the only counselors who lead troops properly, in like a strategic sense, are ones who actually have the war skill. So that's Lieutenant Jackson and Sir Bolton would be your only options for leading.
Right. I think we should. Those who can lead should probably lead, and whatever else buff-wise we take with us, something like that.
Yeah. So we were going to use like 2 like halves of an army, right? We were going to have one hold the bridge while the other sort of flanks around, right? Was that the general idea?
I'm gonna try to catch them on the bridge in a pincer.
So I think Sir Bolton is a defensive man.
Yes.
So he should probably take the half that is going to defend the bridge.
Yes. Yep.
While Lieutenant Jackson can take the other unit that's going to flank around.
Yes.
So if you're actually looking at the top left, you're a top-down-ish kind of area map. The bridge, of course, crosses the river. Right? The only point where there's kind of like an island in between that kind of makes building the bridge safe, given the unsteady soil. It does mean that also crossing here is pretty much the only practical point for quite a while. Good and bad. Obviously, you know the Inquisitor's forces are going to be heading from the east westward. And of course, you preemptively can prepare prepare roughly where you want to try and prepare your troops to hide beforehand. You want them to be hidden in the forest on the right, or hidden up here somewhere. Before the scene, you kind of have the you kind of have the ambush on them, so you should be able to at least get something in.
Okay.
Of course, you can see your 6 individual regiments that make up your full army.
Yeah.
Most militia, but
Okay, I think I have an idea already of how that would work, but
you should be able to see overlays when you scroll over the troops.
No.
No.
I think we need probably ownership for it to.
Oh, now, yeah.
Yeah, now we can.
Okay.
decent morale.
Okay, so the Shadow Shield recruits are ranged. Okay.
Yes.
Alright. Alright.
As are your 20 Ashen Bowmen.
So my initial thoughts would be something along the lines of like I'm thinking that basically.
Yeah.
So then once the Inquisition have been engaged, the Skald Warriors go in to break their backs. The mercenaries come in to relieve them because they're not going to be great in sustained combat, I imagine.
And the recruits make sure that nobody like back off, right?
Yeah, they harry from behind.
The Berserkers have a very interesting quality to them.
Mm-hmm.
They will deal shit tons of damage, but they also basically have like no defense. So...
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
if they go up against a unit that's even decently strong, they're going to be torn apart. But at the same time, they'll probably tear whatever enemy they face, no matter what, apart.
Right.
Yeah, which is why I think like glass cannon them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely, like they shouldn't be taking a charge; they should be charging first.
Yeah, for sure. So I think like that, they would charge in, then fall back as the mercenaries come in from behind, and then we crush them, leaving like the militia as a sort of reserve. I'm thinking the pikemen would just be good on the bridge because, I mean...
Yeah, what does their brace special do? I assume it helps them against charges?
It mostly helps against, enemies that are charging and horseback enemies.
Yeah, so it's perfect to lead them there.
I'm thinking, and what we could do as a variant is to actually have the Berserkers here. And do something like this. And the thought is that the pikemen hold the line, and when they because they'll charge them, and the Berserkers counter charge, like just hide them, disseminate them like among the pikemen. So like, oh yeah, they have pikemen, storm them with swords, and then when they storm in, just the Berserkers are let loose, just fly them in the face of them.
Pikemen rotate back, Skald, move forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And that way we have sort of a hammer and anvil thing going on, with the bronze shadow shield coming up from behind.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to be able to turn it around. I think our weakest point is going to be the front.
Yeah, and also I think it's nice that way to have like an equal spread of competency and morale, because I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming if like we have a lot of like low skill and low morale units one side, they might get broken through before you can even...
Depends which units the enemy sends forward first, of course, but...
Yeah.
So we could do this, because what I'm thinking, like most of the attention might be in the front here on the main line, and I assume they want to try to punch through here. And when the shadow shields come up from behind, they might not be like they're probably sent their like breakthroughs already to the front here, right? So whatever comes in behind, like Bronn might be able to handle that on his own, and that's why we like bolster our front line.
And you may have split the units in two. You may then have some of the position on the bridge and some of it behind you still in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Could we place like an archer here, like hidden on this island?
I mean, you can't really hide on the island, but you could have an archer on the island, yes.
Okay.
We need to let them, like the range 4. They can shoot really far.
Yeah, they can attack 4 tiles away from, so it's pretty far.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, so long as that should be fine, honestly.
Yeah. So how do we come into play then here as our own? I assume we're our own regiment in a sense.
Yeah, in a sense, the players are their own regiment. You don't really get a token on the map because you guys don't really fight as an army per se.
Yeah.
Instead, you kind of lead your troops around, and at some point, you as players can take an operation to do something, be it to try and deal with a certain enemy unit that's causing trouble.
Yeah.
To try and change the morale of the situation, something like that. And then we will shift to the party's kind of more focused up effort. Otherwise, the party are just acting as leaders in their own right, pushing the armies to act as you want them to.
Yeah, so basically we like we lead them until we need to do like shock trooper stuff, right? Yeah, I understand.
Your troops are almost your vanguard for whenever you want to strike in and take an action.
Yeah.
Be that, for example, taking out the enemy acolytes or something similar.
All right. I think this is a good setup here.
Yeah,
So-
I agree. I would. So in terms of commanders, I would say Bolton with the pikemen,
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
and then probably Jackson with the berserkers. If
Will they listen to him? I mean,
that's
they're
what I was
Skald,
gonna
and he's
say.
like,
Yeah.
They'll follow him to a degree. I mean, the Scold are unruly in general.
Yeah.
They're not a very well trained unit. They're just more a fact that they're a very strong unit, despite their lack of training.
I don't know. I don't know if they need leading. They just seem.
They will function happily on their own without too much issue.
What does
Yeah,
leading
militia
them-
then.
Would he give bonuses to a unit?
He'll give bonuses to whatever troop he leads.
Yeah, so maybe better to show up like our militia then. with the
Militia,
leader.
yeah, sure.
The bowman should be fine. Like if someone gets to the bowman, it's either magically
We've
has
already lost.
happened or our line is gone. Yeah, so
I wonder though if we should have Lady Eliza lead the bowman. She's a pretty good marksman after all, and maybe she can like direct their targeting better.
yeah.
Not
Yeah,
bad idea.
uniquely, despite not having a war skill, she could lead an archer group still. Given
And
that
she's and she's beloved by the people, so have her like close to the
Morale
troops. is
booster, right?
probably-
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's Lady Eliza's main thing. Is while she's tactically not really much of a statistician, if she's leading a group, she'll certainly raise the morale of whatever group she's leading.
All right. So hang on. Let me.
And a better moraled group is going to fight harder and fight stronger and retreat less.
Right.
All right. Let's do this then. So these guys, Bolton, heel grade.
Yep.
Um.
I'll do Eliza for these bowmen here.
Yeah. And. Trying to remember how to spell lieutenant.
I mean, the main thing is, Jackson. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
All right.
That's quite hot.
And then Braun leads his own. Okay.
And the
So
Berserkers lead themselves.
yeah, that leaves us with Raiden, Mizara.
That's as far as councillors go, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would be like Raiden, Mizara. They would be our like personal
someone lead.
infight.
Yeah.
Neither of them are skilled at leadership in that way. So
Yeah, they'd definitely be assigned to us as companions.
Where could we see their special stuff again? What's
In the
posted
campaign,
here?
campaign macros.
in the campaign macros, you can see their individual abilities. You can click on each one and it will display in chat.
I'll have Charlotte with me just because she's the only one that gives me anything. With
Yeah.
one reroll.
Yeah, you're free to bring your apprentice along. They are again. Your apprentices can never lead an army, but they can certainly help you personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna help me for sure.
Actually, I say apprentice can never lead an army. That's not true if your apprentice is like a knight squire, but that's not actually what any of you have gone for.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll aim for like an Eldritch Blade one day. Like try and
Maybe.
find
Perhaps.
one. A
Or
personal
maybe
bodyguard.
someone else will actually get like a knight squire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I could have my very own Liam defend me.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think you can afford them, honey.
See what the crown can afford.
Spent
Most likely
everything on
not
this.
Liam. No, most likely not Liam.
Since the gun rate is pretty high these days. I'll see here. Lord Raiden. I mean, I like Raiden with me just because everything he gives is just good for me, pretty
It
much.
is, yeah.
I mean, I don't need anyone of them. I don't think they don't really fit my.
Zed don't need no man.
Right. So Jonas, it's between Raiden and Mazara for me and you then.
Yeah.
So which one? Like I both of our weapon attacks are already magical. However, if I don't use my blades, then I can make it magical, right? Similar to you if you don't use your swords. I think you would probably be in melee all the time, so you probably benefit more from her killing someone with a melee weapon attack. Like that is your modus operandi.
I'm
Right.
fairly likely to do that, yes.
I can pretty much like my blades are 60 feet, but I can always like go within 30 for Raiden's thing, and his tinkering doesn't have to be on me, so I can just stick him with me and then give the bonus to someone else.
I mean, you having more AC in the fight gonna be also good.
Yeah, I think you having more AC isn't bad at all, actually.
All right.
He
I
can,
will.
he can make you a warding talisman for the fight, help protect you.
Yeah, I'll take Raiden then, and give myself a +1 to AC.
Yeah. I'll take Lady Mazara.
Because now you're not only going to have a giant magical greatsword, you're going to have an arcane duelist up front.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
she's assigned now as the royal bodyguard for this battle. How does she feel about that?
Confident in her ability to protect you.
Oh, very good.
Also, you get to like make like a dash or disengage when you
Yeah, it's
bring
not
someone
bad.
down.
Yeah.
So
Or of course you can just blast with more damage.
blast with
Yeah.
more damage.
If I'm already in range of something, yeah. But a free dash is certainly nice in case I'm not near something after I kill. You just keep moving. So
Keep
to
the
speak.
momentum going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, for you, Halldamir, you don't have much right now because Lady Charlotte's not really the best in battle, but you do have Budding Arcanist you can use.
Yeah, I mean it's something. This may only be once per combat, but it's like an advantage because I'm mostly gonna have darkness on me the entire time.
Just keep in mind your darkness may be less effective against certain kinds of enemies.
Possibly.
They
Yeah,
have called down a
you-
solar.
I mean, you are potentially going to be fighting people with lots and lots of light domain magic.
Yeah, no, I mean it's true. But then
Like
they'd
the
have
average
to
troops
waste
won't, but
it.
certainly the priests might, so they may be less, issued by your darkness.
You know, they just need to spend that time to mess with my darkness.
Okay. So Raiden is going to be assigned to follow around Vicus. Mazara is going to follow around His Majesty. Charlotte's going to follow her master. Very well. And roughly then you plan to have the Shattershield Mercs and the Shattershield recruits on the east side of the bridge, and all the rest of the troops hide on the west.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They seem good at hiding and like staging ambushes. So them doing that seems like reasonable.
And they're the most competent, so with the most competent general, I think of all people to trust with an important part of the battle.
Yeah, the pincer's the linchpin here.
Yeah,
like the line just needs to hold until we get in, and then
we need him to bring that devastating blow. So
we can always intervene on our side if we need to.
yes.
So
So
Alright.
are we all going on one side?
Yes, don't split the party.
All right.
Unless you have, like,
well, the question is, do we have to place ourselves, or are we kind of just assumed to be amongst?
The group can, in theory, be on either side, but of course, if the enemy has completely blocked up the bridge, you may not be able to cross the bridge.
Right. Yeah.
maybe we can hide on the island.
How
You could potentially try to hide in the island. Hiding a couple of people instead of an army is easier.
how
Yeah.
far how long is this bridge?
I'm gonna have to check the exact amount. It's quite.
How wide?
It's decently long. It's not very wide though overall.
Yeah, it's a square wide,
I mean, it's not actually one square wide. The bridges,
but abstraction-wise, yeah.
Yeah. But you can have I mean, you can have a cart go across it, so it's wide enough that you can have several people abreast, but not a full line of people.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 people across.
Mm-hmm.
Still definitely much larger cut down.
I mean, that only works in our favor. It being narrow,
Yeah.
having.
It's true, because you can only have as much of theirs against us. So.
Yeah.
Also, if we hide under the middle bridge, we can easily see who's the commander and just go from there.
Yeah, and we can easily change either side by just bursting through the middle and causing chaos, right? Splitting up or whatever. So if we can hide ourselves on either side there, that would be a nice thing.
If you guys can get up there, that is. Back up onto the bridge easily.
Spider.
And we're
I
not
can
talking
always-
about climb
me,
checks
'cause
and stuff.
Yeah, I don't really have good
It's
athletics.
climb checks while probably being shot at.
Yeah.
That's my concern.
Let me think if there's a way I can. Next level, there would have been a way. Let me see. I can give myself advantage. I have a climber's kit, but I don't really have anything else to boost myself because I don't have a train. So
I say we just lead from the front. Lead by example. Especially Amanas.
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, why not?
Also a good question is, where exactly are you going to have the Stretch-Shield mercenaries hide?
Well, we got some greenery here, I assume, right?
Well, there is the forestland surrounding it.
Yeah, this seems to be the closest way there. I suppose where exactly would the Inquisition come from? Like the north, or
Definitely coming straight from here on the east.
yeah. So if we hide them here or here, it's likely they might get spotted. So they might have to hide further away, perhaps.
Also know that you did send the wolf pack running into the forest to the south side.
Right.
As a heads up that they're still active there and potentially could get pissed off if people are fighting them, which maybe is a good thing for you.
Maybe, but not good to hide in there. So maybe the north most forest here probably be the best place for them to hide.
Yeah, in that case, probably the north.
The question is, do you want to have the rest of your troops just wait on the other side of the bridge for them to approach?
We won't because I think we'll fake a camp or something, people are camping on this other bridge, which maybe will entice them to rush forward over the bridge to try to catch us unawares.
Or find weakness. So they
Yeah, we feign
have a
weakness.
out. Yeah.
Because if they see us with pikes and everything on the other side of the bridge, they might not actually take the bait. They might just camp on the other side of the bridge and be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and then our units are stuck there. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. Out of curiosity, what does the mercenaries special give them, or is it just a description that they are mercenaries?
Mercenaries special is a bit of a plus and minus.
Right.
So one unique thing about mercenaries is that they are particularly great with being they don't they're less likely to rout than normal. They actually have bonuses against not getting not losing their morale as fast.
Yeah.
They're also, however, immune to some abilities that some commander characters later can give. Like certain things that Sir Bolton might be able to do later can't really affect them because they're not loyal to him, because they're just here for coin.
Right, I got you.
They won't actually follow all of your, they'll follow their orders, not your orders per se.
Yeah. It's like a neutral ally party, not
yes,
behind us. Yeah, in terms of loyalty, I got you.
It's a unique thing for various mercenary groups. Mercenaries are generally quite strong. It's just they're not going to be able to fully integrate into your army.
Yep. But yeah, I think that's our setup here.
Yeah, I think so.
So like they'd be
Okay.
these guys would be like hiding up here, I would assume.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, Braun probably can figure out where to hide his troops best.
Yeah, I mean,
I
Braun
mean,
has experience in the scouting parties and stuff. He can
And also,
use
if
his
these
expertise, I'm sure.
guys are gonna do it like camp to like be a camp, they're gonna be off the road, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
off the road inside. And we try to, for the Skull Warriors, we try to hide them as much as possible by having them basically just have normal clothes on or something. You know, they like to be so they don't walk around in war paint and bulging muscles because that might tip someone off that there's berserkers in the army. More like, no, take this frumpy shirt and just sit here and look forlorn or something, you know.
Cover the
Maybe just big
bulging
cloaks.
biceps.
I don't think I don't think they'd be like happy with like shove on a shirt. Maybe like just a cloak or something to wrap
Just
a
something
cloak
to
so they
cover
can
them up.
rip it off before battle.
around. Basically, yeah,
as
yeah,
soon as initiative is rolled, their presence here is going to be very quickly known.
Mhm.
yeah.
Berserkers are certainly not a subtle class of a troop.
No.
But it's more for luring them people in, because if I saw, pikemen in the front and berserkers behind them, I might be a little bit like, let's not approach that.
Is there another route we can take? Can we just like batter them with spells from range?
Yeah, exactly. Bring up the wizard battalion, which is the most frightening thing ever.
I mean,
man,
to your
it's in
knowledge,
the pipeline.
thankfully, the Inquisition did not bring a wizard battalion.
Imagine 50 wizards and they can cast a fireball each.
They do have a cleric battalion, probably.
Eh,
Yeah.
Aspiring projects, major
50
wizard battalion.
paladins, everyone pops spiritual weapons and spirit guardians and just march across the bridge. And
What
you're
you-
like, well,
So if you want characters who do have a potentially a wizard battalion, from what you've heard rumors of, potentially the Duke to the south.
Yeah.
that fucker, huh?
But yeah, he's got a thing about wizards, like mages in general. He like has procured his court. He's sort of tried to herd all of the mages.
Whenever anyone in the duchy, so that includes inside of like Alcend and Reichhold, show like a lot of magical promise, he ends by offering them a position in his court.
Yeah,
I don't trust him at all.
it's like a
in
thing,
these-
dude.
in the light of this.
It's a thing, and it
I mean, in
worries
fairness, he's also backing the Inquisition's like attack on you. So.
See?
Mhm.
I'm clearly a villain.
Yeah, I think that would be the first thing. That would be the red flag.
Like, obviously, you don't know why he's backing it. You don't know if he knows like what's going on. But
Yeah, of course.
the point is, he's given funding to it, so he's at least a little bit guilty.
Yeah.
All right.
he knows it or
Let's do this, shall we?
Nice.
Girded
Okay.
our loins. It is time to.
So you've got your battle plan prepared,
Mhm.
and so the group then waits for the signal that
Yes.
the Inquisition's on the move.
Just to be sure, like we have battle commanders, or at least military people with us. Have any of them expressed any sort of like hesitancy or questioning about the plan as we present it? Or is everyone like, oh no, that seems reasonable? Or is someone like, oh god, why?
Asking around their individual opinions here.
Yes.
There is some mild concern raised by Lieutenant Jackson, just on the fact that, of course, you don't really know what the enemy is sending, and he's unsure if you've got enough forces on the right-hand side of the bridge,
Right.
depending on how much you end up kind of sandwiching off.
Okay.
Because obviously, whoever's over there could potentially get surrounded if the enemy turns around.
Hmm.
And he's not at all biased the fact that it's his allies on that side of the bridge.
Yeah. I mean,
Though Bronn seems less concerned, so that might just be because he's very confident in the training of his troops.
Again, how long is this? How long is this bridge?
It's not an exact thing, but abstract each tile is roughly 50 by 50 feet ish.
oh, okay.
Okay, so call it 150. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, considering that we're holding up left side, we could send him over with the militia. We have ourselves and the warriors this side.
does give us a competency deficit, quite a severe competency deficit.
It does mean that it's a difficult thing. The militia in general also are not very good. They are fodder more than anything right now, as rough as it is to say. Lady Eliza does not like it if anyone refers to them that way, but
I think if Braun is confident, I think we trust in his ability to hold the line.
Yeah.
I mean, a dwarf mercenary company, or just a mercenary company led by a battle-hardened dwarf, pretty hardcore. I feel like they can hold at least until we can get to them to help them out, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I can pretty much shoot the majority, in distance. I can pretty much shoot the whole length of it.
I mean, yeah, that, and also if we want to get through, I feel like we can carve through regular troops pretty efficiently. Probably.
I think we'll be okay.
Don't know. I mean, they don't have elite troops that we know of, and I doubt they're sending out their absolute best for something like this. It is a rumor, after all.
I mean, I think Sir Gillian might be there.
I think they're gonna have that general there? No, surely not.
I mean, he's a knight.
Yeah, but isn't he acting as one of their generals?
Might be him. But
if they think there's a chance the witch is on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
I mean, if he shows up, that's our target, right? We need to get him.
For sure, yeah. I think
you would know if Sir Gillian does show up. His personal kind of squad of Inquisition knights is going. They are strong, and they would be able to basically just cook through things cook through truth like knife through butter.
Yeah.
Let's hope he doesn't bring all his best stuff.
Sir Gillian is certainly nothing to be it's definitely not a pushover, and neither is his personal squad.
We need at least level 5 before we can tackle him, it sounds like.
We're gonna have to play it by ear, I think.
Yeah. I think given the knowledge we have, this is the best we can do, I think. We're just gonna be small changing things, I think, for you.
Yeah, you will be able to change things mid-battle. Usually there would be a concern of communication. That's potentially a thing that could come up.
I've got message as a cantrip.
I mean, message is not unlimited range.
No, but 120 feet should get us pretty much going.
Well, Ikas can basically set up a relay here. So Braun, whoever is gonna represent the recruits on the other side.
Sir Bolton.
I can only do 2.
Yeah, then do Bolton and Braun, and then you will have to communicate to us. The rest of the
because I'll be with you guys. So
yeah.
That way you would have then the main generals on each side of the bridge in link.
Yeah. Now let me. I need to read the. So let me just print this in full. For a moment.
Which is a wonderful advantage you have over the enemy if they ever get split up, so that you'll have better communication than they will.
Yeah. We need to be within 1 mile. So, how far it is it from one side of the bridge to another? Is it more than a mile or less?
If it's 150 feet.
This entire battlefield fits within 1 mile. So
Great. That's fine. Just trying to look to see if it goes away if I fall unconscious, but I don't think so, because it's just the connection is still there, regardless of whether or not I'm unconscious too. If I die, then yeah, but it doesn't mention anything about breaking on unconsciousness. It's just more time limit and them deciding to. So I'm going to roll that now. Just so we have the time limit here for how long we got. 3 hours.
So that'll be 3 hours from whenever
whenever we split up, I guess, yeah, because I need to be close to them. I need to see them. Oh wait, yeah, it's creatures I can see. So I don't know how far I can see, but yeah, to the point where I can't see them anymore. So maybe when they're halfway across the bridge or something.
Okay. In that case, you wait and prepare yourselves then. Before knowing your first and what might be one of the most decisive battles for your initial campaign here is approaching, how does everyone spend time to prepare themselves? What are your characters doing, knowing that you're about to be part of such a big fight? In no particular order, but if we take a picture to each of your characters, what they would be doing right now around the keep.
Well, I mean, Amanas would probably spend half his time staring at the war table, going off over scenarios in his head. He's not very good at this, but it sounds good to him. And when he can't think of anything else, he would be in deep contemplation, preparing his spells, polishing his armor and his sword. Making like he has gotten quite the makeover. He has a new armor that's all like dwarven make and like awesome. He has a magical sword. The only thing he really misses is like a banner. Like a magical banner or something. But yeah, just deep in prayer and concentration, just steeling himself for a coming battle. It will be difficult, no doubt, but he has to win this. And so it is fight to the death, or it is death before dishonor, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, for Vicus, it's a matter of he is not at the point that he once was in terms of physical prowess when the kingdom was at its high. He has certainly recovered some of that, but he is not what he was, and so he's very much aware of that, and so his constant thought on his mind is to get whatever advantage he can. And right now, the only way he can think of is just strategy, like just to think of the most effective way to get this done. So that we can have the limited amount of casualties and get what we want to do. So honestly, we'd have to bring Sir Bolton and Braun together because they would be the linchpin of his communication and just basically hash it out with them, like how they communicate to their troops, are we going to communicate with each other, some shorthand so that Vicus doesn't have to describe what's happening. He can just say a few quick keywords and they instantly know what's going on. Basically setting that up so that, when all goes to chaos, they have at least some semblance of order in their communication. As for how he feels, he's worried, but not for himself. Like he's been through scraps and scrapes his entire life, and his entire reason for being with the king is to protect him. But at the same time, he does not want to see anyone. People are going to lose their lives, but he doesn't want to see it unnecessarily done. So, yeah.
I think for Ceres, she'll probably have a different approach. In the sense that she's probably going to be continuing her research, probably up until the point before we leave. Occasionally, probably talking to her apprentice, who's probably not seen any form of fighting.
Not beyond like the duels between the scolds that occasionally happen out in the streets.
Yeah, probably warning her apprentice that she's going to see some shit. But it's all for the greater good.
She has prepared her mightiest war magic for today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what
That
a
might be-
difference for her. I mean, she's a pampered noble girl,
Oh yeah.
and now she's going into a battle.
She certainly seems more than a little nervous.
But I'm taking the approach of we can't coddle her because she's probably going to see a whole lot worse in the future.
That is certainly the approach.
It's the approach we're going with.
I mean, how old is she? She's like what?
17, 16?
17? Yeah. I mean,
like
at that point, like she needs to be introduced to the world.
It's not like Theo where he's like 12, but
yeah, he's like a kid,
He's
right?
still a kid.
So yeah, there's no chance of me bringing him along.
No. But she's going to be my apprentice. I literally set people on fire on a frequent basis.
She has prepared her arsenal of magic missile.
Yep, there we go.
She doesn't have a whole lot else she can do that's great for the war effort, but magic missile.
I mean,
magic missile is great.
Still a good spell.
She can take out maybe if she's lucky on the damage roll, she can maybe take out five of the enemy troops.
That's more than enough.
5 troops that's not attacking, so that's good.
Yeah, but Ceres is very much she's quite relaxed before the storm. Focuses on her work until like the horn blares that everyone like moving out, like the troops start marching out, and then
she's quite relaxed sitting in her room in the keep here.
Yeah, reading some books.
Is she just like sprawled out, like laying in her bed with like just books beside her?
No, I think it's more like at a desk with surrounded.
Okay, she's got like a little reading table then.
Yeah, like surrounded by books and scrolls and bits of paper that she'd scribbled on from like listening to oratory tales, and she's just surrounded by paperwork. And then she hears the horn and she's like, "Oh fuck, is that the time?" Okay.
I know. Just imagine half of Lady Charlotte's time as your apprentice is just trying to organize all of your paperwork.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's like, where was the oral report from the weird scold apprentices of that shaman lady? Where are they? Were they over? Oh, they're there. Okay, thank you.
It brings us to our man of nature. How does he feel before what's going to be blood-spilled soil?
The man of nature is conflicted. He has, even to his old age, has never done anything like this. And being friend with the king has got him a lot of new problem, and he doesn't know how to resolve them. So he's gonna do what he always does when he gets to. He's gonna go to closest pond of lake and go fishing, just to relax his mind and fish. And at the end, he's gonna repair a gold coin for the usher, if he's gonna die. But he's gonna just try to balance his inner conflict of resolution to his wife's tasks and to his friends and to aiding good people against possibly not bad people, possibly good people, fighting in a war, something that he hasn't done, something that he doesn't want. It's a civilization thing. Maybe fishing gonna help. It's not gonna help, but he can try. And just like Ceres, he's gonna just come from the woods, come off from fishing when the war horn is called.
Okay.
He's gonna just seclude himself out.
Ceres?
Yes.
It's as you're relaxing here, in your keep, that you actually get a knock on your door.
Mm-hmm.
That I imagine you send your apprentice to go answer for you.
Yeah.
As Lord Ryden is standing there with a confused look on his face. I've just had an outrider come here with this for you, as he holds out a envelope with a purple and green seal over the on the letter.
Oh, excellent. Charlotte, can you bring it to me?
She will take the sealed envelope and bring it over to you. She also looks rather confused, not recognizing the sigil on it.
I think Ceres will smile to Raiden and say, "Thank you, Raiden." Like dismissing him in a sense.
He looks like he has questions, though he's respectfully going to not say any more, as he's going to just leave you with that.
That's fine.
As Lady Charlotte, though, is going to kind of keep to your side as you're now holding a sealed letter.
I think Ceres will smile to Charlotte and say, "You see, I have big plans for the future, and I think very far ahead. This is part of the plan, all to help the king secure his position in the north." And she'll break the seal, give Charlotte like a look of "stop spying," and then
You're not going to share the information in there with Lady Charlotte.
Not just yet, because I haven't read it.
Okay, that's fine. In your Gilded, I have posted the response for you.
Yeah, I can see. I shall have a read.
It's a very flowery letter, though, from what you can read. Very flowery language from someone who definitely thinks themselves a bit of an artist.
Yeah. I can see.
And someone perhaps who wants to hide hidden meaning within layers of context.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think next, it's going to be late in the evening. Vickers has been going over strategy for hours by himself. With Sir Bolton, of course, and Bron Chattershield trying to prepare in the war room. The others have left for the evening, and Vickers was probably packing up at this point. Well, he's going to hear a knock on the war room door, despite the fact that everyone normally here is gone.
Right. He'll open.
As your apprentice seems to step to the door, with a look on his face that says that he's had an idea. If you like it or not, it's a different question, but he's got an idea.
He's got that mischievous gleam in his eye.
Pretty much.
Uh-huh. Hello, Theo.
Vickers. Of course, all of this telepathic to your head right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting on the enemy to come, aren't you? I mean, everyone is. That's why everyone keeps running around out there.
Yes, we are preparing for them to come.
I want to help you.
I guess we'll step forward and then and go down on one knee and say, I'm not leaving you here to coddle you, and so I will listen to your idea.
You and Lord Raiden are both going to go out into some big battle, and I know you don't want me to fight. Fine, but there's the moment you sense kind of the psychic kind of link streaming for a slight second as he tries to, as he's clearly trying to process everything himself.
Yeah.
I heard Raiden over here about an old watchtower.
Biggest nuts.
It's apparently not that far from here, is it? I could I might be able to give you forward warning if troops go past the tower.
Vicus thinks for a moment and then says, "It would be of immense help to us and the troops if you were up to the task. However, Theo, it is quite a dangerous undertaking. I know you want to help, but you have to be sure, no matter how much you want to help, that you protect yourself first. Any sign of trouble and you leave. Return here."
I mean, if I just hide in the tower, I don't, hide at a distance and I can just message you when I see something, when I see lots of people moving, right?
Yes, but promise me this. If you notice anyone coming close to the tower, you promise me that you will leave.
He gives you a slightly annoyed glare.
I have trusted you enough to give your idea merit and let you do this for yourself. However, you must do this for me in return.
Fine. Yeah, okay.
Because we'll
Put up and I'll use one of the illusions Ceres has been helping teach me and run.
good. Because we'll basically stick out his hand and say, "Then I believe we have a deal." And he'll go to shake Theo's hand.
Theo will look rather proud of himself. He kind of puts a hand up to you. Your apprentice clearly eager to prove himself.
Yes. Now, I suppose the question is, Theo can basically do long-range communication, but he does have to be close to the person to establish it, right?
Correct.
So, I think that if he attaches himself to Vicus, and through Vicus he can contact Braun on the other side and Sir Bolton and everyone else. And I
Yeah,
think
the thought was, if nothing else, that if you guys are all at the keep, especially,
yes,
as soon as the troops even start leaving the capital, he may be able to see it far earlier than you guys will.
Yep.
Giving you more time to prepare your ambush and get yourselves ready.
yes, an advance warning would be good.
Plus, he may or may not be able to give you intel on what's approaching if he can figure that out. That's based on how well he rolls.
All right. I think it certainly has an aspect of danger to it, but it's much, much less dangerous than having him with us.
There is a risk he could be spotted.
Yes, definitely.
If the enemy what the enemy would do if they just spotted, some kid who looks like he's been out hunting.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot. At worst, a little bit of questioning, but he's certainly not in mortal danger here.
No. Well, that's good.
The worst case scenario is he's captured, but he's certainly not good. But you certainly see no scenario where he's going to get killed unless goblins have decided to take over the tower.
Right. Well,
I did clear a bunch of those out, but
yeah. Well, I did say any sign of trouble he has to leave. So if there is goblins in there, then it would be best to just abandon in the first place.
But with animals, it's not too bad for him, as the average animal really can't resist his mental attack.
Yeah.
Because it turns out his mental attack targets intelligence, which animals tend to lack. So it kind of cut through them like butter. Oh, intelligence, say, kind of overpowered against animals.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Vicus will place his hand on Theo's shoulder and wish him good luck on his mission.
He'll give an eager look as he'll go and get himself ready.
All right.
You can sense the mental link, remaining attached, of course.
Yeah.
kind of pointless if he severed it.
Yeah, because then you have to come back again. Yeah, no, I understand.
It's not a perfect surveillance because he will have to come back here at the end of every day if nothing comes.
Yeah.
So if the enemy decides to approach that time he's not at the tower, then
that's it. Yeah, but at least it's better than having no watch whatsoever. There's a chance of a warning.
it's slightly better warning than you would have otherwise.
Yeah. And this is good. This is good in field training for him. As young as he is, this is a pretty important designation that he has to do. So I'm hoping it might give him some experience.
But it's certainly better though than sending him into a fight.
Oh, definitely. That's not happening for another few years, unless it's forced.
Just spying from a distance, which admittedly is also better skill set.
Yes.
Which is good. Aminus.
Yes.
As you're in your chambers in one of the evenings, the enemy still not having shown their face yet. You will also have a visitor to your door. So they don't necessarily wait fully for you to come to the door.
Oh.
As they more knock, giving you a moment, and then before calling through, as you hear Lady Eliza's voice.
Oh. Yeah, no. He'll nod, he'll go up, open the door, let her in. Not a very kingly thing to do, but he doesn't have a squire, and he's humbled by his experiences.
Speak to you for a moment.
He nods. Certainly. Sit down. Want to share something?
She'll slip herself inside, looking a little bit nervous at the moment. It's hard for me to say any of this outside anywhere. All the troops getting themselves ready and eager to fight in. Now, mostly in my name. Mine being the name they know mostly.
Yes, I am not going to lie. They will certainly fight and die for you out there. Many of them are motivated by you and your presence. Me and my companions might be competent, but we do not inspire loyalty to these people quite yet.
So then you're outlanders. You're people who just showed up. At best got drunk, otherwise just appeared out of nowhere. And now are suddenly leading an army.
He nods and says, maybe some of them suspects something, but I do intend to show them that, even if they don't know us personally, that we are a group of individuals that can get things done. My intention is to try to make the coming battle, or at least my performance in the battle, flashy, leaving an impression upon these people. He sort of taps his fingers on the map and says, but something tells me that is not the reason for your visit.
How do you deal with that idea? The pressure of having all these people fight in your name, dying in your name potentially.
Yeah. Looks out the window, taking a moment, and then he looks back to her and says, well, to be perfectly honest, I do believe that a great wrong has been done, and I believe in setting it right. There is much to do in the kingdom. It has such potential, something I squandered. It has a grand destiny. We are chosen by heaven itself. Against something like that, I feel the weight of destiny, Lady Eliza. I feel it. I am not meant to waste away. I am meant to lead this nation into a glorious future. To do that, I need to prove myself to you and to the common citizens of the Empire. I can't rule simply by right. I have tried that, and that led to almost my demise. I need something grander. I need to be a symbol. I am an idea, a manifest destiny. A normal person can be cut or killed or imprisoned, but an idea, that is something immortal. It is something that is arrow-proof. Can't hurt it. And if I can become that, then to actually set people's soul afire, he shakes his head. Someone doesn't risk their life and limb, Lady Eliza, for 2 coppers a day and some soup. You and your family's plight have spoken to the soul of these people and have ignited them. They burn for you, Lady Eliza. That is a big responsibility. But it is also something that you are capable of handling and something that you should wield, I think. You are, in my opinion, a strong woman. You have faced hardship and you have been tested in battle. You can do much for your people, things that no ordinary citizen could. And thus, for the greater good and for the good of the realm, you must go to battle. People will die, but there will be songs sung about them. This will be the spark, I believe, that starts the revolution, that ignites the phoenix, that allows us to start a rebirth. The reclamation of the throne starts here. And this fire will spread. And yes, people will die to start it, but it must be done. It simply must be done. Yeah. He draws himself up. Imagine 20 years from now. Imagine the glorious future this country can have. If we pull together, if we get all competent people on one side, if we can forge an alliance and a council that never before has been seen in this empire until it was like since the founding days. A lot of glory has been lost over the years, but I intend to reclaim it. I feel that I can. I feel I've been given that chance. He holds up like his, weathered hand. I could have died, but I didn't. I have been given a second chance. This country has been given a second chance, and he closes his fist. We must take it.
Can you roll me a charisma persuasion?
I can, yeah.
Sure, I'm trying to inspire Lady Eliza here.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to. See, do I have
Yeah.
an inspiration? No inspiration. I used it before. Come on, rolls. Oh yeah,
That's
that's
20.
nat 20.
Beautiful.
Oh, right. Okay.
I imagine as he was talking, like the divine aura around him have started glowing, like the halo is at the end of the speech, like is actually blazing. Maybe there's even some hint of divine gold in it instead of sort of the tattered silver that is his usual aura. Maybe some of that divine is slowly creeping back.
The fire of revolution. You almost make it sound as romantic as my grandfather's journals.
Yeah, he snorts. and says, I've been called many things, but not a romantic. I'm not trying to
I
paint.
understand.
Yeah.
Well, I came here knowing the realities, just trying to weigh them on my conscience, I suppose, but it helped. Thank you.
He nods.
And
And
people certainly need me. There's no doubt in that.
he will reach out a hand, gauntleted hand, and put it gently on her shoulder, and he will say, Lady Eliza, the fact that you feel this hesitation is a good sign. The day you do not feel this hesitation, you are no longer worthy of their loyalty.
She kind of nods strongly as she has your hand. Right. Yeah. Thank you.
He nods. Of course, Lady Eliza. You can always come to me with thoughts like these.
It's just been so. Unfortunately, she won't get to finish that sentence. As suddenly, Vicus, just a few minutes earlier, you received a ping in the back of your head.
Yes.
As you hear Theo's voice, so it almost sounds a bit grainy, as if something is trying to almost stop him from transmitting.
Okay.
Large group of men just left cabbages, wielding torches, heading towards you.
All right. You'll ask him if he's safe first of all.
Yeah, I'm fine. They're going past. You still hear that weird graininess though, which you've never really heard before.
Yeah.
It sounds fine.
All right. Well, he'll tell him to keep vigilant of his surroundings. And he'll raise the alarm.
Which, yeah. So as Lady Eliza and the King are talking, I suppose Vicus would probably they'd probably hear the sound of Vicus literally blowing the war horn.
Yeah.
All right. He'll get up, he'll grab his weapon, sling it across his back, and says, Then, Lady Eliza, to war. He will
Yes.
march out. The time is now.
So Lady Eliza is rather inspired right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would hope so.
So firstly, just Lady Eliza leading a troop anyway actually raises their loyalty by one step.
Right.
Which would normally raise the bowman from actually good to great. In this case, though, it's actually going a step further than that.
Oh.
The bowman in this upcoming fight will be fervent.
Ooh.
That is very good.
Which I was going to say, those crossbow bolts are going to hurt now.
Yes.
That's what we wanted, though. That's like the whole. It's like the whole thing of being the king was to boost morale, right? And he's done it in a single conversation.
I mean, he inspired the commander, which in return has inspired the troop.
Yeah, ripple effect. All right.
It just happens to be that Lady Eliza just raises morale in general. Actually, so does Sir Bolton, for that matter. So Sir Bolton's troop also going to be great morale here.
Awesome.
Great. I'm gonna grab a drink, and then I'm ready.
All right. I will refill mine.
Just get Jonas to do it.
I've used up my goodwill on that. Verified.
So war is approaching. This will be fun.
War is approaching. I've been looking forward to this. Oh my god, hay fever is killing me.
And at the same time, you're reading a letter when all this goes off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy with with this. So Dark,
Yes.
while the others are just getting their drink, if you look at if you can look at the Gilded in my section,
I saw a couple of things pop up.
yeah, in the minor projects, it's not actually a thing that I made, but it's not the most recent thing, but the second object.
Yes.
I think I want to start looking at that.
Might be a bit before you can.
Yeah, I am expecting that, but I'm just thinking of getting at least like the recipe going.
Again, might be a bit before you can truly get that going, but it's certainly a project you can work on.
Yeah. Obviously.
Once you get the recipe, crafting is significantly easier.
Yeah, of course, and that's why
Until then, you don't actually know what you need to actually make them.
No, that's my whole point. So I need to either
Step one, find or make a recipe.
That's exactly.
Making a recipe takes significantly longer than finding one.
Yes. But we can.
But obviously, finding one has its own challenges.
Yep.
Then producing just depends on how much raw material you can get, which might mean, go out and find a cave full of magical beasts to slaughter or something.
Yeah. We'll figure it out when we get there. But I think it would be a good stepping stone for pertaining to the letter, I think.
It's not a bad option.
Right? I think it's a pretty good option. I think it's a solid idea.
And I was going to say you're not the first court mate to think of that as a project.
Obviously, yeah. I'd hope I was not.
It turns out that's kind of a really important thing to find ways to minimize them.
Yeah. So,
though magical communication has its own problems, but
it does. But it's a start. We can start looking at encrypting them later.
yes, but Ceres is happy with the letter she received then.
Yeah. I mean,
it was a flowery letter.
It was. I mean,
but did nothing but praise. So
Yeah, I mean that half worries me. But because it's whether or not it's like a Charlotte vibe or like a racist vibe. He's human though, right?
He is human, yes.
Yeah, okay.
He is human. He is somewhere in his middle-aged. He is well known to be a bit of an artist.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at some painting and say that it's lovely, aren't I? Ugh.
Noble pleasantries. But he's a dilettante and artist. It's how it goes.
It's how it goes. It's alright.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It'll come up after the battle, I think.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm also here.
So, you have been given forewarning of the attack coming, which also means you're also going to get a tiny bit of information about what's approaching.
Mm.
Now, would you like from Theo to try and tell you like numbers of like how many, or do you want him to try and like look for what might be like any kind of like elite unit that might stand out to him from a distance?
I think elites might be important, right, guys?
I feel like we can determine the elites
When they come.
ourselves. Yeah, I think knowing numbers and knowing how hard this is going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
All right. You've convinced me. Let's go numbers then.
Because I think we're going to see the elites, right? We're going to be able to see them from far away, I reckon. So numbers.
So you want numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Theo sees two main groups moving, each which he thinks is about he thinks it's about 60 odd men on each of the main groups, and then there seems to be two smaller groups following behind.
Mm.
Oh.
Okay.
He's not 100% sure from a distance, but he's willing to say that it kind of looks about equal to how many troops you mustered.
Okay.
Out of curiosity.
So from a distance, they also look a little bit better armed than your troops are.
Yeah, I figure. This like weird like dampening effect is still on our communication.
It's still there, yeah. It's faint, but it's there.
Out of curiosity, is it anything similar to what he felt when he was sharing with the Knoll when the witch attempted to take it over?
Now you think on it slightly. Like you remember hearing almost static like this briefly beforehand.
Yeah.
But you didn't really pay much attention to it at the time.
Yeah.
And because you very quickly the Knoll ended up being overwhelmed by something much bigger than static.
Yeah.
But it is a semi-familiar thing. It might be something similar.
Right.
Though obviously neither you nor Theo are someone who could just be, snap controlled of.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of you have sworn loyalty to your knowledge, to the Blood Witch.
No. I think I will warn him that if the connection gets any worse or is like pretty much almost broken off, he should leave. Because it's possible that this could be being tracked by someone. But yeah, other than that, then
He'll keep trying to relay what he can for you for the time being.
Yeah.
As all your troops go onto the ground.
yes, and yeah, I mean, how does Sir Bolton and Bron feel about the psychic link here?
You get a lot of psychic swearing down the line.
Yes.
From Bron, which you don't think it's really aimed at you, just aimed at like his own internal mindset, which is not really being filtered.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dwarven curses. If you don't understand dwarven, it doesn't really mean much. But
I think I don't know.
then it's just a whole bunch of very annoyed sounding dwarven to you.
I kind of wonder if because like gets confused and like mumbles to himself what like one of the curses like what the hell does that mean, and Sarah's like translates. It's like something horrific.
Oh, and he's like, all right. Yeah, because normally like, when you actually communicate telepathically, it's translated. But in this case, like he's in his own mind speaking his own language. So I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh, they're saying things like, they have wronged us. Satisfy the grudge.
Grudges. Where's my book?
Let's kill the Wassacks.
Okay. Let us see who does. Let's see which side is going to take the. So we're going to briefly add both the initiative tracking for later. Not going to be too important which order it goes in, given it will be back and forth in this case. Hopefully there's not a third party involved yet. You can see the levies on the other side of the bridge. They do have a banner ready to raise when the battle is declared. Lady Eliza's banner, the symbol of the pride.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if any of you have been paying attention to what Ryder's been up to, he may have It's going to be a very flashy banner when it comes up, perhaps. Get the enemy's attention.
Oh, of course.
But, that's for once you're actually, declaring your intentions. But the first enemy troops will begin to drip in then. Starting with a group of warriors who Braun is going to be able to report on first. Apparently seem rather they look like they've been marching for days by his mind. Like these troops have been gathered from all over and not really had proper chance to rest.
That's good.
And it's about Braun's mind about 60 rather exhausted looking peasant levies.
Oh, well.
It's a decently large group, but it's not. I mean, the peasant levies.
God, I feel like when we raise the banners like of the pride and Lady Eliza is visible in the battle, like radiant as she is right now, they might just switch sides. Like they might be like, fuck this.
Yeah, they might. I mean, they're exhausted. Like,
Yeah,
why have
yeah,
they been
and-
marching for so long, I wonder?
I mean, the Inquisition has presumably press ganged them into patrolling the area, right?
That is what a lot of troops have been doing for a while, yes.
Yeah,
They've
I
been
mean,
patrolling and scouring, looking for issues.
Because they believe that they're fighting like an evil witch or witchcraft or something.
yeah,
And
but
now they're
then
coming up of the beloved heir, suddenly.
Her
They might
banner.
not want. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, they could. Yeah, they might just switch. Like, nope.
It certainly may not help their morale, and if their morale drops low enough, they might turn traitor.
It's pretty cool. I like that.
But you'd have to drop their morale, quite a bit first. So.
Easy.
Technically speaking, as these troops are moving, you can't really see the rest of the troops yet. You are free to start an action now, or I presume you want to just let them continue moving their men though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna wait a bit. It's charge. It's like we can't even see half of them.
It's like Total War, like line camping. It's like the reinforcements are coming in here. Line up.
They just get press ganged.
Following up behind is a much smaller regiment. They look like some of the most elite guards, though, kind of reminiscent armor of that was around the main keep. They, unlike the peasant levies, don't look anywhere near as tired, and definitely look way better armed. Many of them actually be sitting on horseback right now.
Okay, that's good. That's like, those are the people that are sort of gonna have to deal with, aren't they?
Yep.
They're the real worry for now.
They are also carrying the Inquisition's banner currently, alongside the Realm's banner, clearly making it clear whose forces that they belong to. Again, you may continue. You may at any point interject on them at the moment, but I presume for now you're going to keep letting their forces pour through.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think they're fine for now, honestly.
Be gathering up for a bit.
Do they give any sign that they've noticed us on the other side of the bridge?
They don't appear to have noticed you yet. Admittedly, given the time they've travelled out, it's actually night at the moment.
Oh.
They don't actually have a great view across the bridge at the moment.
So
Though,
I think.
though you can see them quite well because, of course, they've got like lanterns and torches for travelling.
So what I think is, if they start going across the bridge, and they notice us, we will try to feign disarray. Like, oh no, they've caught us. We need to get out of here. But in reality, we're moving the pikemen up. So when the elite house guard starts charging to catch the escapees, they'll get right into the pikemen, and hopefully the darkness will just obscure the fact that they're riding into pikes because they think they're getting to like the soft underbelly, so to
Oh,
speak.
fuck, what's this?
Oh, hello there.
Acolytes. Oh, good. Wonderful.
You see another group of peasant levies. So these ones don't look anywhere near as tired. They look actually pretty well rested and pretty good morale. You can even hear like light chatting and like murmurs between them as they're seemingly escorting a small ring. It's not a lot of them, but it's a small ring of acolytes along who seem to be in their almost fervorous chance to support the troops.
That's the target for the archers right there.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any commander that's like obvious yet?
You can, I mean, there is some command. There is definitely a commander that there's like definitely a commander within the house guard, but there's no one who stands out as being like the definite like leader of all of this, though.
Okay. Kind of worries me, but all right.
Though, assuming you're going to keep waiting a little bit too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No one is at the bridge yet, so.
They're seemingly starting to gather their forces. Exiting out of the forest, you end up seeing a group that does seem to make Bronn curse a little bit under his breath. Sir Gillian's here.
Oh.
Okay.
As a very small group of fervent inquisitors leads the backpack with Sir Gillian as one of them. Though he's technically not an inquisitor, but you know.
That's a target.
Yeah.
Like, Bronn outnumbers these. Like, it's less than 10, holy knights there. It still seems to worry Bronn, the idea of taking them on face to face.
I think
Zealots are a pain to deal with.
Yeah.
They don't tend to back down.
I think I know where my target for shatters is gonna go.
The Holy Inquisitors will, by Bronn's assessment, looking at them and how well they are armed, any unit that's below level 3 will probably just get eaten through just instantly by the Inquisitors. They're not going to stop for just peasant levies.
Below level 3? Fuck. Alright. So the only group that's going to be able to stop them on our side is the warrior, the Scold. Great.
Yeah.
If they get to the front.
And we have us this side too, so.
Yes, you can always
Yeah.
jump in, of course, and take them and, directly fight them.
Might have to.
It's just the fact that they are strong enough and well armored enough that your normal peasant levy are going to struggle to do much against them, and they're going to just, kind of melt.
We do have souped up archers, and they have their targets here. Like the spellcasters and these elites are definitely what we need to.
Yeah, for sure.
One more small group that follows up behind. It doesn't appear to be as big of a group as the other levies, a much smaller one. Actually mark that down as being small, exhausted levies for you. Which just seem to be following the rear guard. They also look, however, very tired. You can certainly say, looking at them all, they're all better armed and probably better base trained than some of your levies are. Especially your militia, who of course just don't have any training. They've all got basic training on their side. Though obviously some of them are tired, which at least is in your advantage. As the Inquisitor seems to take a quick survey around the area. Bronn's actually going to think how his troops move back a little bit here. And actually stop him.
Yeah.
Oh no, he
can do it.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He doesn't feel like getting spotted by the Inquisitor by himself at the moment.
No,
that would be bad right now, yeah.
for sure.
Bridge working in reverse effect for you. As words are being spoken back and forth. Seemingly orders are being given, as it seems some of their troops are rotating about a bit.
Okay.
There's definitely a lot of murmurs among the troops of some of them wanting to get ready to camp soon. But it doesn't seem like the Inquisitor's going to let them, given well, they've got a hunt.
Sure do. Ah,
So if we go by, yeah, stop there.
Okay.
I think at this point, this is where we can basically get into position. They're just at the point where if we move 1 square each, we'll end up at the front of the bridge here with all our units, and they will end up running into us. So I think we
Yes.
should start moving into position now.
yeah, we probably should.
It's the order to your men then. Here. Are you trying to subtly move in position, or are you like throwing up the ban?
No, I think what we want to do is to subtly try to move up the pikemen here, and then once they are like fairly close, then we can start like a ruckus over here, because my hope is that will spur the elite house guard on horseback to actually charge forward, trying to catch us before we have gathered in quotation marks. And they might just run straight into the pikes and like notice it too late. Or not
Feign.
even realize that they are pikes. Yeah, so we're feigning disarray to draw the cav in, and basically we're trying to draw apart their army,
Right.
splitting them up so we can cut them down.
So you want to fool? You kind of want to fool the enemy what you're up to here. But okay.
Yep.
When you do have the cover of darkness here, it's not they can't necessarily see the best what's going on. I'll let any of the PCs, or you can let any member of the council who could reasonably interact with that member of the on that side of the bridge. Someone to roll me. I think a deception check seems appropriate here to fool the
I mean,
deception really. Yeah.
We have our master of deception, right? Who is that?
I have a trained.
I mean, I could do it.
Who's the best?
I got +6.
Would you think, Dark, that the strategy that Vicus has gone over would give some sort of bonus to this?
Personally, Vickers has a bit more experience with. He did spend a bit of time preparing, like to lead the troops around a bit.
Yeah.
And he understands how Lieutenant Jackson in particular also operates, who is controlling the large force of militia over there.
Yeah.
So I think if Vickers is doing it, I could give you advantage.
All right. Yeah, I would like to do it. That's okay.
Can I give Vickers guidance?
No, because guidance only for like a minute, right? So I don't know if that's like
Yeah, it's
I
not for
don't
long
know.
at all.
Doesn't work for a situation like this.
for like long term.
Yeah, I was curious.
Maybe if Ceres, our Mistress of Darkness, cast like can spend a spell slot to cast darkness like in a haze in front of it to cover some of the movements up,
Maybe.
like in front of the bridge. Maybe that can help.
I can certainly do that.
A darkness certainly hiding the pikemen might make their stealth particularly easier here.
All right.
And considering
And
it,
Vicus also has his basically Psynac, so he can like, I don't know, in a deception roll for like something to be psionically boosted is probably some sort of like visual static or something he might be able to foster for like a brief second or two.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, so I can do the darkness without using a spell slot.
Alright.
I think that's worth it.
So yeah, I'll definitely do that. Cast last 10 minutes, so I think that's definitely long enough.
Alright.
Also, I'll give the pikemen advantage from that on their attempt to try and reposition secretly.
Need to quickly double check to see if my dice want any larger. At what level? I don't believe so though. No, 5th level. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go roll this now. Fingers crossed. Charisma deception. Advantage. 17. I'm gonna use Vicus's side bolstered knack here to add an extra 3, so 20.
20. Okay. And you're wanting it to seem like you're forced over here, a bit of disarray, maybe getting ready to retreat, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically to give them like the onus to be like, maybe we should charge now to catch them while they're busy. Try and like split up the vanguard here to get them to go in first, because they sense the blood, right, so to speak.
Yeah, and they're elite house guards on cav. They're probably very confident in what they do. So if they see an sorted mob, I mean, if I saw that, I would be like, yeah, just charge, like full speed ahead, right? Just get them.
Yeah.
Jackson does a masterful job with Vicus's guidance to have it look like the militia are all scrambled back there, all like fumbling with their equipment, or looking like it. It does help that they're actually pretty incompetent forces, which kind of actually better. But,
Don't need to fake if it's true.
much. But as it stands, the enemy will definitely probably believe it. As for the pikemen, the Bolton, you're not necessarily the best at using stealthy troops. On the other hand, you've got darkness around you, which certainly makes things far easier at night time.
Yeah, it should be able to cover all of them, or pretty much all of them.
Our own Shadow Weaver has granted her.
I have granted my boon to the men.
Exactly. I am the Witch of Night. I am beautiful and terrible.
I've brought darkness forth.
Unlimited darkness.
Do you want them simply to be able to poke at anything that comes across, or do you want them actively being the block?
Block.
Okay. So
when the horses charge, they should charge into pikes.
No, make them stay.
Stay back here.
No. Like, the location is there, but don't like counter charge them back. Because, like,
No,
No, it's pikes don't charge. No.
Yeah, no.
What? So
Yeah,
the
the pikes wait until
the
they charge in.
idea, I think, I believe,
It's to
is
brace.
that the Skull Berserkers will then counter charge.
Yeah. But like, I want to also interrupt the charge before with my spell.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What do you want to do with the rest of your troops on your?
Might I ask what spell you're gonna cast?
I'm gonna cast Spike Crow on the front of the pikeman.
Might I suggest that you cast it behind, like, so say that the house guard charges in here into the pikeman, you cast spike growth behind them, so any troops that rush in to relieve them will have to go through that.
Going
I
back.
mean, I can cast it like in the middle, like here.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Like I was thinking something like that.
Just
in
because
front
you'd
of
be
the
like,
pikeman.
oh shit, pikes, fall back. Oh no! Horrible spike growths everywhere.
Yeah, but it's hide because it's a terrain effect. It's pretty nasty.
Certainly, one of the things with mounted units is usually they can move, attack, and then move again. Maybe more difficult if there's spikes behind them.
Yeah.
Sort of locks them in place.
Honestly, mounted units are just a pain in general. Should be no surprise.
As we're gonna try to lock them down here.
What are you do with the rest of your troops, meanwhile?
So I think the ones across the river, gonna wait a bit until more of them close in, and then spray. As for the Scald here and the Bowman, I think the Bowman can go and step with the militia. maybe so that they can basically plink here from their full range, and then they can step in like every turn after that once the battle has started. Yeah.
They do a scoot and shoot.
They don't need to move as close because of their range. So as long as they can hit this first square, yeah.
So stay back here at their maximum range. They can just reach that square.
Perfect. And then the Skull Warriors can maybe.
So long as they're within like 1 turn's like movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something this gold can move quite far in 1 turn, so that's not a big issue.
Yeah. So just so that they can like snap into place when.
Yeah.
The
No,
time
like
comes.
as soon as the house guard have smashed into the pikes, like everything just turns around and gets them. Right? Like, there's.
But I have the Skull hold for now and not reveal themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not quite yet.
Okay.
This is scary. Whoa.
Man, the last campaign that we had a army fight, we lost horrifically on a bridge.
Oh, it was.
It was a slaughter.
We lost in such a spectacular fashion.
Yeah.
We were like, we'd never go to war again. We just-
Archers in a tower. Oof, who knew?
Who knew?
That's great news. Thanks, guys.
Well, there's no tower here.
No, thankfully. We
There's
have
very-
the archer advantage.
There's a watchtower that Theo's on, but
It was actually, if it was actually over, they had the high ground.
They had the high ground, Anakin.
Nothing we can do.
The watchtower, unfortunately, is a bit far away to really influence this battle.
Thank
It did little
goodness.
more than watch out in this case.
Should have built like a trebuchet or something. If only we had an artificer.
I mean, unfortunately, trebuchet not necessarily the best against people. It's generally better against buildings. Right, followers of the Allmaker, how are you going to respond as you suddenly see a whole bunch of flailing troops out to there? Who all seem to be dressed in the house colors of the lion. You hear a shout through from the Inquisition. Unfortunately, a bit rashly and aggressively for the Inquisition. So Gillian's voice seems to charge out, sounding rather irritated at the moment. Ordering a cavalry charge.
Yes.
Excellent.
The cavalry charge.
I've fallen into a trap, my lord.
Oh, good news and bad news for your pikemen. This is probably going to hurt your pikemen. On the other hand, it's also going to really hurt the house guard.
Point.
Yeah.
Really hurt them. I'm all good with that.
I have faith in Sir Bolton and his defense tactics.
Yep.
Sir Bolton, you're very good at defending stuff, thankfully.
Woo.
This is why we
Sir
put
Bolton.
him in charge. Occasionally, we have good ideas here. on the Ashen Court.
So that is. Unfortunately, the House Guard are not in the best morale at the moment themselves either.
Being force marched for however long, I imagine had
Not
a
the
rough
best.
time.
So the House Guard. So your pikemen should be taking 4 points of their health off, but because Sir Bolton's there, they only take 3 points off.
Yay, Sir Bolton.
Nice. Do they have a max? Oh, they do. I'm sorry. I just saw it.
On the other hand, the poor house guard also feel the brunt back. As the house guard is going to get punted back, actually for 6 damage here,
Nice.
which is ow. That was spiky. I mean, they have more troops than that, but ow.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is the point where they're going to about to start to bounce back because they're mounted.
But now we have our readied action, right?
As a commander, you want to intervene here.
Yes, I want to cast a spike row between the troops, in the middle, because they're most likely centered in there.
Tell me more about spike growth.
Okay.
Terrain.
The ground in 20-foot radius centers the point within the range. Within the range, 150 feet. Twist and proud hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes a difficult terrain for duration, which is a 10 minutes concentration. When creatures move into or within the area, they take 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet within the travels. The transformation of the ground is camouflage to look natural. Any creature that cannot see the area at the time of the spell must make a wisdom save, a perception check against your spell save DC to recognize the terrain with hazards before entering it.
That's
Right.
really good.
That's
The spike growth is the worst. Like moving through that, you take
Yeah.
so much damage.
It affects the horses and the knights.
so the horses, the elite house guard, do not manage to see that, especially being nighttime at the moment.
Yeah.
Charge backwards into it.
So what? 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet, and it's
Yeah.
20. It's 40-foot diameter.
I mean,
Like-
can you roll me the 2d4, please?
I thought you said 50. Each square was like 50 feet.
It is approximately. It's not exact.
Well,
5.
I mean, that's 5 more house guard just killed on that movement, and that's going to stop. That's going to end the house guard's movement
Nice.
Dang.
when they were going to retreat back fully to the other side of the bridge again.
And I'm gonna keep concentrating on it.
Okay, so that was unfortunate for the house guard, and what the hell just happened? And the Vanguard are kind of like, wait, what do we do now? There's like spikes all over the middle of the bridge.
Yeah.
Not do it. I noticed it.
Have they noticed it? Yeah.
Suddenly, the house guard have noticed the fact they're getting spiked to death.
I mean, it might be evil witch magic.
It's probably evil witch magic.
Well,
Yeah.
The thing is, that's what they're shouting back and forth, yes. They're claiming that the lion has teamed up with the witches.
Of course.
Honestly, all we're now missing is a wardrobe. We'll be fine.
I mean, they already thought that anyway, so I mean, what's new?
Bring out the wardrobe, yes.
The acolytes of the father will be moving up and will actually end up swapping places here with the Vanguard levies,
Pretty good.
as they're going to come up and try to heal the elite house guard, restoring some of their people back. Not all, but it turns out they're priests. They're going to heal their own troops.
Mm,
And probably try to break that spike growth in future.
yes.
As the Inquisitor just seems to line up some of the forces here. Though they're clearly not. Okay, they're trying to figure out what to do now. The fact that their front line has just been punted by spikes.
Yeah.
If the knights are moving out, could I argue for 1d4 since they're still moving out from the range of the spike row?
What's that?
Could I argue for half damage when they are moving out from the area because they're still moving in the area?
Oh no, they'll still take damage when they're moving out. Yes.
Yeah.
There's an entire square filled with the stuff. They can't really escape it.
Yeah, yeah,
Great.
that's a great spell.
Inquisitors, how are you going to? The Holy Inquisition is going to go ahead and buff themselves, I think, here.
All right.
Suspecting battle ahead as they start giving out war cries to their troops, attempting to inspire their own people to battle.
So I think what we do is that bowmen move up and start firing at the acolytes.
Yeah, how far can they move in their turn?
They-
Dark.
Acolytes can move up to 3 tiles at most.
Okay.
The Berserker can move 4. The rest of your troop. Well, yeah, most of your troops can move 3 though, for the most part.
Yeah, so take up the archers to shoot the acolytes.
Yeah.
To move them to whatever tile you want to put them to.
Yeah.
They can shoot up to 4 tiles away from them. So
Yeah, and they'll shoot at the acolytes, try to stop the healing.
okay, so Ashen Bowman, you are only novices. On the other hand, you are fervent in your beliefs at the moment.
Inspire them, Lady Eliza. Ooh.
That is a fairly good base roll.
Mm.
It's +1 level, +3 morale. Ooh.
Do they also shoot like short swords or whatever Lady Eliza?
I mean, point. Lady Eliza could use hero shot at the moment.
She should do as much damage as she can. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the time where they're disarrayed to do the
Yeah.
most damage.
Their squishy healer unit is in range. Like we need to punch it as hard as we can.
Yeah.
Very well then. Lady Eliza will expend her 1 use for the mass combat here.
Mm-hmm.
As she will go ahead and enchant her unit's attack here with her own hero shot, as she basically stands atop her troops and summons her giant arrow of light and wind.
Like
awesome.
the wind blows her cape backwards. It's very dramatic, you see.
Yeah.
So 1 second. So that is definitely a success on that hit.
Right.
Yes, a success. So that is -2 damage from their equipment. On the other hand, that is 4 plus additional 2. 6 plus the. Oh boy. I forgot how scary Lady Eliza is from the bow.
We didn't.
No, we know.
We know.
We
have
just
seen-
remember.
She's been assisting you quite a bit.
Yes.
The volley of arrows and crossbow bolts all kind of shoots across. The young acolytes and priestesses all getting pelted with bolts, and many of them collapsing to the ground. As then suddenly just this arrow of light whistles past and just seems to impale multiple of the priests back to back.
Oh, wow. Ugh.
So Lady Eliza, because she used that hero shot, that's not good.
Yes.
She just one-shotted.
She one-shotted them.
Fucking just obliterated
Oh
them
my
off the
gosh.
face of the earth.
Dang.
Oh,
Come on, that's got to raise the morale of the troops.
yeah, that's like.
So this has a slight effect here.
The exhausted levies switch sides.
No.
So firstly, all three of the enemy's levies all drop by 1 morale.
Right.
I tell you, means that some of them are now in negative morale.
Oh.
Okay.
Discontent from the 2 exhausted levies now.
Yeah.
And the excited murmurs of the Vanguard levy seem to have just stopped.
All right. So I have an idea in my head. You mentioned the skulls could move 4, correct?
Yes.
So they could potentially come up against the house guard here.
Could definitely charge the house guard right now.
So the idea I had in my head is the Scald charge the house guard. And then potentially, if we can, intervene to finish them off. So I'm just saying this out, so don't take any of this as like actions. So if we manage to take them out, hopefully that would lower morale more. And then we spring the ambush from behind on the Holy Inquisitors, and the hope would be that would break them. That's what I'm thinking, at least.
So, basically, we rush and kill off the elite troops. At that point, we hope that there's like enough disarray for Bronn to pounce in the confusion of it, so to speak.
Yes, or what we could do is just have the archers shoot and force the Inquisitors to have to wade into the forest if they want to get at them.
Yeah.
So like take out a levy with the archers or something, like the small group, which would even make it worse. For example.
Yeah.
Um,
we do have the range on them for sure. Like they don't have any.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would suggest
if the skulls attack, it might force the elite house guard to move. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would be with the skull attacking.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's resolve that first. Let's get the skull in there. Up front, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's have them come up against the house guard here, who are like in disarray because they're on top of the spike growth, and you know these skull guys are. I guess now would be the time to raise the banner, right? If anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you suddenly see then the banner of the lion raised up and covered in small bits of magical and alchemical materials, just lights up like a glowing beacon in the night.
Nice.
The lion symbol glowing brightly across the river.
Yes.
Good. Let's see. Do we have? No, we don't have anyone with like with what's the cleric version of precipitation? Thaumaturgy. We don't have anyone with the thaumaturgy spell, do we?
I mean,
I
I have
managed to get any
prestidigitation,
clerics.
so
I have thunderclap.
Okay. Yeah. No, I wanted to like project Amanas's voice and be like, you know, see the banner of the lion risen. All of the church's crimes are now to be answered to. You know, cast off the joke of the Inquisition. Rise your banners for the house of Freyfrost. You know, for honor, for glory, and the Red Dawn.
I mean, that sounds like you intervening.
Yeah, like trying to. This would be something that we do when we spring the behind ambush. So, like, you know, they're basically overloaded from all sides, right? And this would be try to scare or make the some of the levies just change sides. You know what I mean, or just run away.
Yeah.
Gold Warriors, you're going to go ahead and attack the house guard. And since you have no commander with you, you're going to automatically use your berserk on this.
Yes. Go wild.
Let's see. So that is by base, so that's by base minimum 10 damage you're dealing. It was actually D20, not D10.
Oh.
So that definitely overcomes Elite's Halcard despite all their extra armor. Okay. Well, Scold Warriors, it is a double-edged sword, your berserk ability. But congratulations, as you just deal 16 damage to the enemy forces and take 8 yourself.
All right.
And okay, the House Guard is not looking too good at the moment. They're also going to drop a point of morale because they are deep below half health.
How fucked up are they? Because I might.
Very.
I mean, all right. Can Ceres interject with Shatter on them?
You've not interjected personally into combat as a commander yet.
I mean, you know, let's stack the numbers in our favor
Yeah, let's do it.
and drop
be
a
able to take
shatter
them out.
on top of them. Yeah.
Okay, so shatter.
Yeah.
Do-
My map tools is just locked up for whatever reason.
Shatter deals thunder damage, 3d8 thunder damage to. It's not a very large area, but
Perhaps if there's enough left, like
Yeah,
damage,
that's fine.
they might finish them off.
Mm-hmm.
please go ahead and roll the thunder damage for me.
My map tools is completely frozen.
Is
Oh,
it?
no, it's just come back. Literally,
okay.
as I said that.
Take
Okay.
Aura.
3d8, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a bad roll.
Your damage is significantly reduced here, but as it stands, it still may be enough potentially.
Alright.
7. You deal another heavy blow, but it's not actually enough to finish off the house guard.
Alright.
Though, I'll be honest, there isn't much house guard left. There are very few of them still on their horses. Most of them that are still standing are trying to drag their butts back. And they may not survive the fact that they're currently standing in thorns.
Hmm.
I mean,
think I want to finish them off, honestly.
yeah. I mean, we could let the
Well,
Or we
thorns
could let the
finish them off.
thorns just do their job. Maybe, yeah,
And then start
because we can
moving
still shoot
forward.
them next turn. Because whatever. Yeah, I think we'll let that happen.
Yeah, and then I think we can start moving forward.
So
Honestly.
we'll move the militia
Up.
like
Yeah.
here. Do we want to start moving the pikemen back, or
Mm,
No, they're
No,
still
they're
better
still-
fighters.
yeah, they're still better
Yeah.
defenders. So if he, for some reason, sends more troops over,
And
Yeah.
they
or comes
can
himself.
fight over the Scold as well.
So the question here is, do we just want the Shadow Shields recruits to shoot and keep the mercs like away from the Inquisitors for now, or do we want to charge them? Because they're buffed, and Braun was like about single combat. So I'm thinking maybe we just take out maybe the small exhausted levy group if we can,
Yeah.
like an ambush of arrows. And then if the Inquisitors are like, shit, there's someone behind us, we're still in the forest. So, they'd have to come through if they wanted us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's decent. Because I don't think he's going to send more troops over the bridge after this.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so either. I
Um,
think we're going to have to start moving forward, and I think that makes us need to start pushing our advantage. So yeah, a good volley of arrows into the small
Yep.
unit.
So, given how they move, basically, I know mercenaries kind of do their own thing. But so I can still suggest Braun that
You can still guide them roughly like normal troops.
Yeah.
For the most part.
the recruits here can actually hit this group here from where they're standing currently.
They could.
I think we want to do that. Right, guys?
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, only thing we could think is if he moves down and shoot like the lower guard, he might trigger the wolf, but they are a random factor that might not happen.
Yeah,
Might
and
not
also
even-
they'd be much closer to the Inquisitors. 'cause
Yeah,
they can
and
move
I
in.
yeah.
Yeah, so the plan I think is to move the mercs back actually, because the Inquisitors right now can reach them just fine. So if you could keep some distance here, we can
I will
basically
shoot the
skirmish them
up
out.
one. I will shoot the up one.
What was what was the range of the Inquisitors? 3, 4 squares?
You don't know how far they can reach an attack. The average move speed is 3, though they look like some of them have horses, so they may be able to go up to 5.
It is in a forest though, so
It's true. Forest is slower to move through. So
yeah,
So shoot and then move back. Like,
yeah, basically. Because now they don't know what exactly is attacking them. They have to go look, and then they're getting burst from the front. Just chaos everywhere, really. That's what we want. And trying to keep basically the mercs. Like I think the mercs should only engage Inquisitors when there's actually literally no choice. Like they're going to catch them anyway. They might as well get the charge in. Because they are buffed. So if we can get our troops across the bridge before that, great. But see what happens.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to have Shatshield recruits shoot at the exhausted levies.
Yes, a small one, the top one.
Oh, jeez.
That's a 19. Right, so you are decently trained recruits of good morale versus novices of poor morale. Now, just doing a little bit of math on those numbers here, but that's going to be a sting.
I suppose it's an ambush as well, since they're facing like the bridge, right?
Yes, so. Which does not help the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't take up that many of the levies, but they certainly deal, a decent, they certainly put a decent hole in them still.
Yep.
And then you want to move them back.
Yeah, I think like back one, maybe like to the edge here, and bring the mercs with them.
Okay. Bronze troops are slightly slower than the rest of them, but he can still move back. So.
Yeah. So even if the Inquisitors can get to them, there's going to be at least a turn or two before the rest of the levies can catch up. So
that would be the Inquisitor's turn now, then.
Yep.
Well,
actually, I haven't intervened yet physically, right?
I mean, if you would like to physically intervene, you can. Do you have something you would like to do?
Well, honestly, the only thing I can do is marshal, and given the side run, the only thing I could do is attack the house guard. But I would like to let them. Can I like ready to, if there's anything left after they leave, can I finish them off?
Not really. It's going to be more a fact of you have to act on your round of here.
That's fine. I won't do anything then. I think I'm better suited to just taking out some units when I'm up there.
I would like to try to do my demoralizing attack, then try to see if we can make one of them run away or switch sides or something. Just to throw even more confusion.
Is there a particular group you want to try and aim that at, or you're going to try to aim broad?
We'll try it at like the exhausted levy. They a large unit, decent threat, and they're also tired and probably just fed up with all of this. They seem to be the easiest target. The small exhausted one has been already hit and might not listen to anything that is being said because they might just be panicking.
Yeah.
But yeah, similar to the speech I said before, like, the banner blazes, Amanas will alight his holy aura, basically proclaiming that the House of the Lion has returned to claim what was wrongfully stolen by the Inquisitors. Rise up, men and women of the land. You fight for the false masters. Lady Eliza, the House of Freyfrost, is here to save you. Join her, fight for what is right, fight for what is honorable, and by his angelic heavenly grace, he will try to like reach these people to get them to switch sides.
Very well.
Persuasion.
Yeah, it'll be a skill check from you, either intimidate or persuasion, depending on how exactly you want to approach this fully. But it sounds like persuasion.
Yeah, persuasion. He's projecting a nobleness, and the blaze of radiant light from our side might be a boon here, as well, to be like they have been misled.
There is a very bright glowing banner, which does in fact give you bonuses on persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Could I spend a spell slot of bless to like further just just holy light, washing out from him, so to speak?
If you wish to spend a slot of bless for flash, you can.
Yes. Where would
in that case, I will give you advantage for the radiant banner.
Yeah.
And I will give you a +2 for your spell slot.
Very good.
Nice.
Skill.
I'm curious to see how well you do here.
Yes, me too. Persuasion. 13 plus 2, so 15.
You shake and rattle the enemy. As you certainly hear the murmurs of discontent continue, and kind of accelerate a bit. As I'm going to go ahead and as the exhausted levies will drop by 1 more morale level. Sadly, you didn't get enough to drop them by 2, which would have made them rebellious.
Yeah, no, I tried.
But you did lower their morale more, which makes them pretty terrible troops at the moment.
Yep.
I'll be back in a second. Yeah, keep going, please.
Sure.
The enemy will take its turn now, then.
Yep.
The Holy Inquisitors are going to use one of their commander actions. And their commander action in this case is going to be fireball across the bridge.
Jesus.
Because, damn, they're not going to deal with... they are not dealing with witchcraft on their watch.
Yeah. Ooh, they're going in. Okay.
So they will move to here. And they will, just so they're in proper range, and they will release fireballs across the bridge.
All right.
So, Scold, I have bad news for you.
Oh dear.
The Scold, unfortunately, have very low defenses because they're berserkers.
Yeah.
Who just berserked. As the commanders just walk up, and as you were pretty much warned they might do.
Yeah.
The berserkers are just wiped. As you just suddenly just see an onslaught of holy explosions go off.
Yeah.
Like, they're not technically all dead necessarily, but they're certainly not fighting anymore. So that was their commander action. As their main action, they're then just going to go ahead and attack normally at range.
Okay.
As they're going to launch an attack against your pikemen at the front. As they're all going to shoot spells, they're all going to shoot like cantrip basically across the bridge, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The best they can. Sadly, they don't have range for they actually have to be on the bridge. Damn it, how dare spells have less range? How dare you say you can't shoot a spell 400 feet like you can a bow?
Yeah.
That's a bad roll for you.
Ow.
Yeah.
So that's the Holy Inquisitors, which have a morale of Fervorous as well, and a much higher level than you. That's 19. That is 16 points of damage to the Ashen Pikemen, reduced by 1 for their level and 1 for Sir Bolton.
They are barely up.
So that is 3 health they've got left.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, actually, I forgot they're buffed, so it's 2 more damage.
Oh, so they're dead. Oh no, they're just alive.
1 health left on your pikeman.
All right.
Yeah, you were told the Inquisitors were dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
The House Guard here, as you were basically told would happen, break apart.
Yep.
You've got no way they can survive that. They only had 1 hit point left. There was no way they could take less than 1 hit point of damage.
Yeah. Nice though.
As the Holy Inquisitors tells the Vanguard to get ready to move across. As they're looking at the mess of horses right now and trying to, well, They can technically kind of skirt around, but it's going to through across the island. But it's going to be a bit awkward to do. The rest of the troops can't really follow properly right now.
So question here. I don't want to be a stickler, but can they move corner to corner like this, or do they have to go through the spike growth like this?
Can technically move corner to corner like that, but it does cost them more movement, which means they really are struggling to move right now.
Right.
We're stuck in there.
These the exhausted levies meanwhile are going to try and they just got shot at from behind right now, but they don't see from where.
Yeah, Bron needs to charge, I think. No.
What we need to do now on our turn is all archers forward, shoot at the inquisitors, and then we need to try to hit them. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fine.
Exhausted levies at the bottom. Are you actually going to follow your orders right now?
Let's see.
No, you're not.
Ooh.
Not at terrible morale, you're not. The other exhausted levies are going to move up behind the inquisitors. As they're all going to switch. They're all going to switch to having ranged weapons out.
Yep.
But they have to take a turn to actually switch.
All right.
Which means the Ashen Banner, you've lost your berserkers, so they did their job. They hurt the house guard a lot.
Yeah. Vicus would like to take a commander action against the Holy Inquisitors here.
You haven't taken one yet, so you're free.
Yeah, so he's going to basically burn all his reserve of psionic energy here, and combined with his speed in terms of cunning action, he's basically going to lead a stealth guerrilla attack on them, because he has 60 feet that he can shoot, throw his dagger from. So he's basically going to try and pick off as many high value targets as quick as he can before he's basically has to leave the engage.
Fine. It's not easy to do, but you can certainly try.
All right.
Feel free to make me an attack roll here.
Yep.
But they are very strong and very competent.
Yep. Give it a go. If I use all my psionic die that was left, would you say that would give me advantage or not?
If you want to expend all of them, then sure.
Yes, all of them.
In that case, you do manage to deliver a blow to them.
Right. Do you want me to roll my sneak attack?
You can.
Okay.
Okay, that takes you over a threshold. I'll mark that down. It's still your turn.
All right.
You haven't
Then
moved your troops yet.
archers are gonna
Pikemen, by the way, now drop down morale to only good again because half of them, more than half of them have been exploded.
Yeah. That's okay, but yeah, archers will shoot at the Holy Inquisitors.
Yeah, so Ashen Bowman, and then we can move the Shadow Shield recruits close enough to take a shot, which
Yeah, it looks like they
would
can.
be I guess,
Again,
here?
I think they have to go here
That's-
to reach.
Yeah, one more.
And then
The Ashen Bowmen make their volley against the Holy Inquisitors, but they're just not able to get good purchase against them.
Alright.
then the recruits will do the same, I think.
The rear can try as well. Whoops, they don't have -2. That's the wrong roll. Regardless, that's a 4 on the dice.
Right.
They're also not able to make any budge against the Inquisitors. Just too much armor.
How far can the Shadow Shield mercs move where they are right now?
Not that far, unfortunately.
Right.
They can only move about 2 tiles.
Oh, wow.
Let's see.
Okay.
So let's get them out of the forest then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Next turn they can get closer.
All right. We have militia left here.
Yeah, we need to probably
Fall the pikemen back and put the militia in.
fall the pikemen back and let the militia
I mean, put the militia
move in here.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like shove them over onto.
It is notable that the pikemen can technically attack over the militia still.
Yeah.
Oh, they reach
So could they get the vanguard?
from here.
They can technically, the troops can. They don't have much health left, so the amount of damage they can do is going to be quite low, but they can, yes.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna move them way after, then yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I guess we can do that.
I think these might as well attack the vanguard. While
Yeah,
Of course.
the vanguard. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easier purchase against them.
Yeah. Oof.
The pikemen do deal some damage to the vanguard. It's not a lot though, but they do deal some damage.
Are we
I
allowed
think
to?
we fall the pikemen back, right? Because they hadn't moved yet.
They haven't moved yet. It's true. They can pull back.
I don't know what the range of the Holy Inquisitor is, but just get them as far as they can move.
It's about 3 tiles they can shoot.
Okay.
Back here then.
So they can't quite hit the archers, but you know, reserve troops are quite easy to punch them.
Crazy idea. Can
Yeah.
we interject again? Like, am I able to interject again? In any way?
You won't be able to interject just as commanders at this point. You could at this point all decide that you're going to engage personally.
The Holy Inquisitors.
Could, if you wanted to at this point, engage as a party, just frontal assault yourselves.
I honestly maybe.
I'm kind of into it.
For commander action only, but the party itself can always just choose to now be a unit and attack.
It's hard to say, honestly. I am loath to let the Shadow Shielders just hang out and not really do much, you know. But then again, we don't know what the Inquisitors are gonna do.
Yeah.
Of course, you might want to wait until next turn or something before you do something like that.
I think.
I think we can last a turn because
Yeah.
then at least the mercs can get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can last a
Uh,
turn.
We have a lot of militia here, so hopefully.
Right now, they do definitely outnumber you in just terms of raw men, but of course their men are now starting to get very upset.
Yeah.
And they can't physically engage with us unless they want to walk through that thing. So
They have to go either through the spike growths or towards the brawn.
I mean, that's why I wanted to see if I could interject and just put darkness on top of that unit.
Fortunately, you've already acted as commander now,
Yeah.
so
I will be right back, but keep going.
okay. Right, Inquisition. Punch hard, punch fast, I suppose. The Vanguard levies are going to punch at your militia. Honestly, it's a whole bunch of not very well trained troops shooting a whole bunch of not very well trained troops. That said, though, their troops are definitely better trained than yours are.
You know, we've at least got a commander with our guys.
True, which does help.
So long as
As-
they live a lane.
As your level 0 militia end up taking 10 troops worth of damage down to 30.
Fine. You just need to hold.
Yeah.
Hold the line.
Which actually does now mean for your Asher militia, they do feel slightly intimidated because the Vanguard levies are basically double the number now of them. Oh well.
Do not worry, Lieutenant Jackson and men. We shall be joining the fray soon.
As for the Holy Inquisitors, great. Now they're being attacked from behind as well. Just what they need.
I imagine Sir Bolton in the distance is like, your hubris has betrayed you, Gillian.
Oh, that's very
taught
good.
you better.
Oh, that's a very good point. So Gillian's going to go ahead and try to roast your militia. Perhaps keeping his people there and not focusing on Bronn and just shooting across the bridge.
You're a brother to me. Gillian.
He wants to get over his old mentor. He has things to say. Oh, your militia is not going to have a good day with this. So, okay. The Ashen militia takes 27 damage.
Ouch.
Puts them at 3 health. But that's the Holy Inquisitor's entire action. They don't get anything more special this turn. They spent their commander action a fireball, so. The other levies, meanwhile, oh hey, they see your troops at the back here. Exposed. How's morale looking?
Not one. -1.
That's an issue. Okay.
They're broken. They flee to the arbitrary red line where we can no longer chase them.
Not quite. Because they got a result in the minus for their morale roll, that means their morale goes down by 1. The thing is, they were already on -2, which means
How low can they go? Oh, they turn into a quake.
Whoa. Yes.
actually, more accurately, they shouldn't. Technically, now an independent faction.
All right.
Rebels.
I like these frames. They're really cool.
But yeah, they're kind of pissed off at the moment. So as soon as the Inquisitor's turn is going to end, they're going to take their own rebellious action.
Nice.
And as it turns out, when they go rebellious, basically their morale flips from -3 to +3, so this is going to hurt for them.
Whoa. Okay. They're like, fuck this.
Pretty much. Do not let your troops get that upset because it gets very, very bad. Okay. Oh boy. And you've just had a set of. Oh, you've got Cascade now because you've had troops going. Okay. Because also, when someone rebels, that lowers the morale of everyone else.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes.
And this other
They don't-
unit's not going
They don't have the expendable treat like Skaven slaves.
The Holy Inquisition doesn't lose their first, but certainly the other peasant levies drop more morale.
The Holy Inquisition are unbreakable, but it doesn't help when you've got low morale units.
Yeah. Doesn't help when your peasants are pitchforking you.
Pretty much. And even they have to be afraid of when they're surrounded basically by like 120 peasant militia.
No.
But yes, they can blow up a lot of peasant militia at once. That's 120 peasant militia though.
Oof, nice.
Also pitchforks.
Lots of meant to add, potentially.
So how's your morale, small exhausted levies? Actually, surprisingly holding together.
Alright.
As they're going to actually follow their orders to try and deal with the recruits.
Alright.
Not realizing there are people fully rebelling yet, because they haven't had a chance to reveal that. So they're going to attack at your recruits. I mean, it hurts, but not that much. Your recruits end up taking 5 points of damage.
Okay.
They can take that.
That's reasonable.
Your recruits are technically better trained, even though they're outnumbered. Rebellious levies, do you feel like attacking the Inquisition? Are you that bold?
I mean, they have their backs to them.
Mm.
They've lied all of this time.
Oh. Hit him! Not bad, but I don't know if it's.
It doesn't manage to get through the Holy Inquisition's defenses. On the other hand, though, that's definitely going to distract them now. They have like 60 people attacking them from behind.
Great.
I have a thing that I want to ask.
Yes.
I don't have a player inspiration anymore, but if any of you have, can they use it to make that roll in advantage for the rebels? Because
Unfortunately, all of the players have taken their command.
no, I mean the inspiration
Oh,
to use it
your inspiration.
to like a reroll that or have it that advantage if they have it, because I don't have one.
I don't have one.
I don't have one. I use mine.
I think
No,
everyone's
I-
tremendous.
Oh,
All out.
nobody has. Oh well.
Better roll though. That could have been very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
That said, though, while the Holy Inquisition technically isn't really affected too much by it, they actually do end up taking automatic damage just because of difference in size.
Oh, nice.
It turns out when you're outnumbered beyond 10 to 1, you can't really help but take some damage.
Yeah.
Though they're going to punch back hard. Ashencore, I will reset and light up all of your units.
All right.
At least.
Maybe this will actually make the Vanguard levy consider their loyalties a bit, because now the Inquisitions is seemingly attacking their own forces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now Braun can move 3, right?
He can move. He can move free now. Yes, his troops aren't very suited for forest.
Yeah. So potentially he could move here
Could
Yeah.
yes.
and attack the Inquisitors.
Could.
I think we should. I think we should stack all damage we can on the Inquisitors.
All right. And then at the end we intervene.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay. Let's do it.
I think that's the play here. Honestly.
We should then. What we should do is have the archers attack first.
Yes,
So,
for sure.
So Ashen Bowman and Shadow Shield recruits.
Okay, you would have both archers attack. The archers over here are going to have a slightly harder time because they're engaged right now. But
Whatever we can do, because if we can make the exhausted levies break at least, then.
so
Oh,
Eliza's troop.
oh, Lady Eliza.
Oh yes,
That's
Eliza.
the fervent archers who just rolled a 20. So, despite the fact that they have shit tons of armor, that's going to still deal some damage there. Ow.
Another lightning bolt was shot.
Yeah.
Another hero shot. Ow.
Can they crit?
There is such a thing as crit for the armies. Yes.
All right, awesome. Our most damaging unit except the Berserker is critted. That's pretty good.
I mean, bronze are also pretty damaging. So,
Yeah.
which
I'm also of the idea that the less there is, the easier it would be for Braun. Anyway, so. Maybe.
archers will take their attack, though I said they're struggling.
Yep.
And that's a nope.
That's fair. That's fair.
I want Bronn to punch in the face now.
We want to get the militia out, right? We need to keep them.
We don't need, but it would be nice, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, remember, Lieutenant Jackson is commanding them. I don't know what happens if, like, a commanded unit.
It would be
It's
good
taken
if
out.
they retreated at least
Yes.
The
somewhat.
commander will probably survive.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pull them out here.
They don't, especially if they're going to be crits.
I mean, they can attack the levy, Vanguard levy, and then get out, right?
Yeah,
So,
give them a swing and then fall back.
Like
They'll
the
swing it.
archers, like also the Ashen archers can also now move because they are shot, so we can like regroup.
that's
behind
true.
here.
Let's pull them back here.
I want the militia to swing. They will, though they've not got much bonuses left. But
Okay. Then they fall back here, basically forming a protective line around that Bowman here. And then Braun attacks. Holy Inquisitors.
Hi, Bronn. You're the only unit on the map with a comparable bonus to the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
It's time to show what we pay you for.
Oh. Okay. Maybe.
The one big difference is, unlike the archers, which have a base damage of 1 plus 3 morale, Braun has a base of 5 damage plus his morale.
Jesus. Okay. All right.
And they are like technically now, right? The Inquisitors are being hit
Overwhelmed.
by
Yeah.
kind of when like archers fires raining in, they're being attacked by their own levies. Braun is probably outnumbering him as well, right? So
Let's see, Braun, you physically number of troops, you outnumber him by quite a bit. You outnumber them about 5 to 1.
Nice.
So that's a 5 to 1. Okay, so that's going to be about you only actually just barely hit with that 16.
That's good, at least.
But that's still, even with just barely a hit, that's going to hit for a solid 30 damage against them.
Woo.
Holy Inquisitors, you're not looking good.
All right, let's go.
yeah, I think it's time for us to hit them.
Actually, look at the Holy Inquisitors have lost their personal protection. It's just now the main knights left.
All right, let's get in there.
Wonderful.
Let's do it.
Nova strike.
Yep.
It's
Get 'em,
fine.
boys.
So the parties are going to finish this in single combat.
Yep.
That's
Yes.
You know.
Okay, then.
This is great fun.
You know,
I'm just having a fun time.
Let's see, where are we fighting? We're kind of fighting like on, basically on the crossroads, but I'll use the crossroads map for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Funny thing about Vicus's like psionic die, he currently does not have a way to use it in combat. Really, it's just for checks. So using them all to get advantage earlier is probably the best way I've got to use them.
Worth it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Later on, I can use them to add bonuses to my hit, but it's like level 9 or something. So. It's good
Because
for now.
yeah, you've taken out most of Sir Gillian's like entourage.
Yep.
Which is kind of bad for him, to be honest. His entourage was kind of strong. And it sucks, actually.
Okay with that.
It's like you don't want them to succeed.
Almost.
Who would say
Not
that?
particularly, no.
Grr.
Even more insult is that Sir Bolton seems to be succeeding on the strategy.
Yeah.
I feel like you have something against them.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
Can I have a couple of spells, like, on before before we engage? I have like a minute or so.
You can apply a spell for yourself before you engage in.
Alright.
A spell.
I shall apply Shield of Faith to myself.
To note as you approach here, like this might be some comment. This is still going to be dangerous. It just means that there's not as many backing up troops around Sir Gillian.
Yeah.
I will have my spider out. as
Oh
my
yeah.
unit thing.
Not the
forward,
spider.
Come forward, my faith in the giant spider. You're gonna need it again.
Am I going to need to find the token, or have you got it?
I got it in my library, I think.
Best of two worlds.
I shall have mirror image. Because I really doubt that these guys have like true sight. At least I really hope they don't have true sight.
Yeah, let's hope now.
I'm having to just configure the battle ad hoc because all the number of people have been eliminated now.
Yep, no worries.
So it's always just a little awkward bit here if I have to just figure out like how many troops are actually now physically left to fight.
Yep.
Less than they would like.
You know, between Amnes inspiring Eliza and her own roles, she's done very well for herself in this fight, I think.
Our archers have definitely been MVP, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone gets an extra 2 copper apiece as we get back home.
Well, you know, maybe they'll go up in experience. I'll have them relatively untouched, hopefully. So
We should look into buying better equipment for them, like long bows or something.
yeah.
It's also a matter of training them with it, which is part of the whole situation. It takes time, was the problem. You didn't really have that much.
Yeah.
Some of them had longbows, but those were mostly people who were already like hunters.
They are gonna become like Lady Eliza. I'll have to have their ability, whatever.
There'll be your honor guard, like, you know, they get like lion pelt mantles or whatnot.
Yeah. Get like a cool unit name.
Yeah.
Like the Lion's Claws or no.
Yes. Something like that.
Royal Lion Guard.
So at this point, there is only one actual Inquisitor left among the Inquisitor group, which is depressing for him.
Excellent.
Good.
I mean, that's very good for you because, frankly, I wouldn't want to fight them.
Yeah. Oh, I should be here.
Double checking. What is the? That is a lot of damage.
What of AC?
Okay, let me grab your tokens from the bottom map. You, and you free.
Yep.
You're coming with me. Right, this is going to be fun. They're also fairly scattered at the moment because they're being attacked on all sides. Can you reveal the map for you? There we go. Map is revealed at top right.
All right.
Let's finish this, I suppose.
Yes. Let's roll initiative.
Pretty good rolls.
Ooh.
Wow. You guys are faster than me. I'm getting old, guys.
I think that was
Time
You
to
are
take me
still
out back.
young.
that was a nat 20, so I think you're good. Like Dane. It's okay. I wanted like some startup time as well.
Yeah.
After macros, I need my bulk initiative button for this one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, less than there was normally. Normally there was 5 Inquisitors here.
Yeah, 5 Inquisitors would have been rough. I'm glad
Rough.
we waited.
And there would have been several more honor guards and other things. So.
Yeah, I know.
Sort initiative looks like taking initiative shall be Ceres.
So here's a question.
Uh-huh.
Is this time for that scroll of fireball that we have?
Wait, we have. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Because
Oh my
I do
God.
think it is, honestly.
I think
Oh
it
my
is
God.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was an important question.
Yep.
Are you here? When you're attacking, are you out to kill or subdue?
I mean, I think we'd like to subdue Gillian, right?
Yeah, Gillian is someone we'll try to take alive. Everyone else, yeah.
I mean, maybe some of the priestesses, maybe they can be. We do need some clerics.
I don't think they can be turned. They're like crazy fanatics.
Well, we did save some of their acolytes.
And those ones seemingly did provide you information and help. So-
Yeah, so maybe they can be like they're not every single person in the Inquisition has like indomitable firm belief. People are individuals, so
They might,
try.
but as individuals, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. As far as Amon is concerned, he will kill anything he downs. He will kill, except Sir Gillian. He's here to dominate and crush.
I would say the Arcane Duelist with you will happily join him.
But feel free to others. I mean, he won't go around killing people who are knocked unconscious if you want to do that.
I mean, Vicus can just do just fine. Like this is so he'll decide when he attacks what he'll do.
It makes sense to me that Vikings might want some alive for information and stuff, but Amenas is just full of like hatred and fury and will just
that's fine.
wreck people.
Yeah, I think Fireball is a solid option right now.
I think so.
I'm thinking something along the lines of this.
Yeah.
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 So, let's see. Let me think here.
There's no way. Like if you move it one to the right, you're still losing out 2 extra turns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah.
the exact same, pretty
It's
much.
pretty
It'd
good.
be pretty much the same. You would be losing a neophyte and a holy knight for a neophyte and a holy knight.
So the Inquisitor, what type of a unit is the Inquisitor in front here?
So the one Inquisitor that's remaining is a heavily armored man, like almost respectably. Amnes could see him, probably having some kind of knightly origin originally.
Yeah.
What he has, however, as his weapon is this just great maul in his hand.
Okay. Alright.
Like a war priest, I guess.
Not all Inquisitors, not all Inquisitors had two-handed weapons. The one that left did have a two-handed weapon.
Is he a caster or is he just a fighter?
I'm fairly sure the Inquisitors will have some form of supernatural abilities of their own, similar to you.
Yeah, then hit him with a fireball for sure.
Terrifying.
Yeah, he needs to go down like quick.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Get him. So yeah, the fireball is that.
Yeah, Fireball is that. It is DC 15, I believe. 14. DC 14.
As Theris unravels the scroll she found, breaking this seal as you see the text come alive and fire begin to burn over the lettering.
Yeah, let's give them some revenge for the fireballs they fired at our skulls.
Yeah,
That's right.
bitches. Alright, let me
Which was the Inquisitors, Inquisitors and the Priestess of Scales doing. So.
Oh no, sorry. It's the scroll actually provides the DC, as it contains a 3rd level spell. The spell's saving throw DC is 15.
Oh, nice.
Alright, nice.
Please go ahead and roll damage while I roll saves.
The damage is
8d6, I think,
8d6.
is standard.
Yep. Yes. Please be good roll.
Sadly, I don't think a single person who has dexterity has a good
Awful
save.
roll.
It's not bad though.
It's
less than
kinda average.
Nice.
Kinda average.
Less than average.
So the only success is the Inquisitor.
Okay. I mean, it's
That's
safe for
still
half.
a shit ton of damage. So yeah.
Yeah, so 1, 2,
100
3,
plus.
4, 5. So, yeah, I mean, in total, it's like